In this tutorial video, I will be showing how to use underglaze, specifically the Mayco Fundamentals. Most manufactured glazes will have instructions on the back, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. First of all, we can see that this glaze is suitable to cone 06 to cone 10, and it can be applied to bisqueware or greenware. There's another part of the label that gives even more specific instructions. So let's take a look at that. These instructions are telling us that if we want it to be opaque or we can't see the clay underneath, we need to apply 3 coats. We can also use a thinner underglaze in order to get a watercolor effect. We can also apply this using a brush or sponge. And in order to get it shiny, we need to apply a clear glaze. Now that we know these details, let's go ahead and plan out our test tile. First of all, let's take note of that tip about opacity. I would really like to see what this underglaze looks like using different layers. So let's go ahead and create 3 rectangles where we can apply 1 layer, 2 layers, and 3 layers of underglaze. I would also like to see how to use a thin brush in order to create detailed line works. So let's go ahead and create a section for lines. And then also, I'm wondering how these glazes will work if we try to blend them together. So let's create an area for blending. Now I'm going to use a regular graphite pencil in order to draw out these areas on my test tile. Remember, graphite will burn away in the kiln, so it's really good to use in order to plan things out. So I'm dividing the test tile into 3 areas. Now I'm creating the rectangles for where I'm going to do 1 layers, 2 layers, 3 layers, line work, and blending. Okay, let's get started painting. So I have transferred the underglaze into these small containers. And we are going to start with this bright blue. Let's go ahead and open it up and let's check the consistency. Here you can see I have a container with clean water and 2 different size brushes. Now before we begin, let's go ahead and take the brush and try to get as much water off of it as possible. So you can paint it on the desk, use the side of the cup, and really try to get some water off of that. We want it damp but not soaking. So here you can see I'm dipping it and running it across the sides of the cup. Now let's go ahead and dip it in the glaze. You can see that the consistency here is almost like really thin yogurt, like a non-fat yogurt. Now I just dipped the tip of the brush in and I'm starting to apply the glaze. Now here are some tips for painting. First of all, always pull the brush towards you. In addition to that, keep your eye on the edge of the brush and the line that you're trying to paint. So here my eye is going to where my pencil pointed, at that edge of the brush and at the line. So I'm just following that. Also, you're going to get the glaze and almost dab it on. But see here, you can see that I'm going to use my eye and focus right on that line and the edge of the brush where it's making contact. The goal here is to make it even. So if you see any areas that are extra thick and areas that are thin, go ahead and pull some of that underglaze where it's thick to the areas that are thin. This will take some practice, but actually there's a lot of little small details about painting that you'll get better and better with so that you have more control. Just try to really pay attention. It's not something that you just want to do sloppily. Now, when painting layers, we want to make sure that the underglaze underneath is dry before we do the next layer. So you can see here that that middle square got a little bit dry. The color changes. It gets lighter as it dries. So I knew it was okay to paint the second layer. Now, after doing the second layer on that third box, I could see that I needed to wait before I did that last layer. So let's go ahead and move on to doing the line work. Now here I have a very thin brush in order to practice with. So let's go ahead and take this brush and, similar to the last time, get a little water, but then take most of it off. Dip it in your underglaze and let's start painting. When I did this line, you can see that it's thicker where I started, and then where I stopped, it gets a little thinner. So go ahead and go from the other side, in this case, the left side, and try to go over it again. Keep on taking little bits of underglaze in order to make this as thick as possible so that we just don't see the glaze or the clay underneath. Now I'm trying to experiment with getting a line that starts off more wide or thick to a more thinner line. It's so that it's kind of tapered. So you can see here that I'm putting more glaze starting at the left side, making it thick, and then less and less pressure so that it ends up being a lot thinner on the right side. Okay, so now I have these two types of lines, and now I decided to just play around a little bit and experiment. So I wanted to see what it would look like if I just made some dots. Now these dots are kind of not perfectly circular. They have a little wonkiness to them, which is fine, but I just wanted to play around, and I encourage you to do the same. Now that I have these dots, I really wanted to get a curvy line. Now, one of the things I want to point out to you is about how to have more control when you're painting. Take a look at my right hand. Do you see how my pinky is making contact with the test tile? Doing that stabilizes my hand as I paint. Try doing this as you go in order to make it more smooth. You will see that having that support really helps to calm down your hand and make it less shaky. Okay, so now that I'm done with my lines, I go ahead and I do that third layer on that last test tile because I could see that it dried out. So go ahead, there's that last third layer that I needed to make. When making lines, go ahead and experiment with different types of brushes. So I thought, let me go ahead and try this bigger brush and see what I can get. You can see it was kind of like sloppy at first, but that's okay. I just wanted to see what it was like. Let's go ahead and move on to blending. Now, this blending section is going to be really interesting. My goal is to create an ombre effect. So what I'm going to use is both the bright blue and that other glaze that I have, which is sea blue. It's just a slightly lighter glaze. And my goal is to start with the bright blue on top and then blend it to the light blue. So let's go ahead and take that bright blue. I'm loading up my brush here, and you can see I'm getting a lot of it, and I'm just going to paint the top portion. As I do this, I'm making sure the top has a lot and then a little bit lighter as I go down. I'm like starting at the top and then pulling it downwards. Okay, so I have that first layer of the bright blue done, and you'll see that it dries out kind of fast. So I'm trying to move a little bit faster. I'm getting a fresh brush, and I'm gonna apply that sea blue to that lighter area. So same thing as I did before. This brush was kind of like messed up, but it works. And the process is just like before. You're going to take it and make it thinner or thicker out one side and then try to pull it and make it thinner on the other. Now I'm going back in with the marine blue to kind of blend in that middle section. The glaze is still wet, so it allows you to really blend it right on the test tile. You just kind of go back and forth, add the darker underglaze and then go in and add the lighter underglaze and just keep on doing that till you see a seamless transition. It's not going to be perfect, but it's just kind of neat to see how you can kind of blend with underglaze, which is atypical or not typical from a lot of other glazes. So that's one of the reasons why I really like this material. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Also, remember to clean your brushes. It's pretty easy to clean underglaze off of brushes. All you have to do is take some clean water, take your brushes, and swish them around a little bit. You don't need to pound them in the bottom or anything like that. Just swish them around in some water. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and apply some clear glaze. Remember, the label says that it will be matte. In order to have it shiny, it needs to be clear. So here I'm using some Cone 10 clear underglaze. I'm shaking it up in the container, making sure that all of those little bits of silica and things are all mixed in. And I'm going to take my brush and start painting. Now, the texture of glaze is different than underglaze. Here you can see I'm loading up my brush and I'm just really gently dabbing it on. I am not doing strokes. In fact, my brush is barely touching the clay. It's just using the surface tension of the glaze in order to fill in that area. And you can see that the glaze dries pretty fast. So you can go ahead and do multiple layers with not that much dry time in between. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, you see how I'm only painting half of the squares? That's because I want to see the difference of how the color changes with and without clear glaze. I'm also putting some underglaze on this ombre area because I want to see what it looks like, those layers and how it blends, and if it brings out those layers more. Here I'm kind of showing you how I'm barely touching the surface. You can see that I'm really just hovering and just dabbing it just a little bit. All right, so here we have our finished tile with samples of 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, line work, and blending. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this tile and fire it to cone 10 and see what the results are gonna be.